Hi everyone, Murray and I, say hi, are back today and we're going to talk about how I believe tarot cards work and the best way to ask a question so that you get a good reading, whether you're doing the reading for yourself or for someone else. So first, how do I believe tarot cards work? So first of all, I don't advertise myself as a psychic. Whether I am or not is up for debate. Some people say I am, some people say I'm not. Actually, I'm the only one who says I'm not, but I hesitate to use that word because I think it implies that I can somehow definitely tell you what's going to happen in your future. And that's absolutely not true. And I would never want to mislead anyone into thinking that that's what I can do. It's not. So I say that I'm an intuitive tarot practitioner. So basically, I go with my gut. I go with my intuition based on what the question is, what the situation is, what the spread tells me, and finally, of course, what the card tells me. So I think tarot cards can only tell you what you already know on a subconscious or a soul level. It's not going to tell you something that's completely brand new. I feel like it can give you insight, it can tell you what your choices are, it can remind you about things, it can help you face realities maybe you were avoiding facing for one reason or another. So I think I like to use the metaphor that tarot cards work like a mirror or a microscope or a telescope because it simply shows you what's there, things that you just couldn't see for some reason. So that's how I think tarot cards work. And they do a really good job of those things. And I think that's why they're so therapeutic and why people love them so much. And of course, there's a spiritual component to them, and that's different based on everybody's different spiritual beliefs. So I do believe that my guides help me to interpret those messages. So that's another part of it, but maybe that's a conversation for another day. So, how to ask a question. So again, this is if you're doing a reading for yourself or if you're doing a reading for someone else, or if you're having a reading with someone else. Try not to ask closed questions, yes or no questions. Don't ask for specific dates. Don't ask for timelines. Tarot cards are really unreliable when it comes to giving definite dates and times and answers like that. It's never going to be yes or no, right? Because no situation is really that clear cut. So I think it's always good to ask what you need to know about a situation, what you need to understand, what insight you can use to make a decision in a certain situation, what your different choices are, and what the consequences of those different choices might be. So I think those are better questions to ask, and you'll get a lot more information if you ask those kinds of open-ended questions. I've had people ask me if they're going to get married within the next year or how soon they're going to get married. They want to know exactly what month or what season or what day. I always say that I'll look for signs about specific information like that, but it's really usually not there. And same thing, people want to know about babies, if they're going to get pregnant within a certain time period. And as sympathetic as I am to that situation and to that anxiety of not knowing, that's a hard one to pin down, right? Because it's based on so many factors. And I believe babies are born when they want to be born, so. But again, that's a conversation for another day, so. Anyway, I'm going to give you an example of a good way to ask a question and a not so good way to ask the question. And I'll use one card to keep it shorter today. So this card is from my Universal Weight Tarot, which most people are familiar with. And let's say I had a really bad day at work, and I'm frustrated and upset, and I always say that's a bad way to come to a reading, whether you're doing the reading for yourself or if you're having someone do it for you. I feel like having your cards read is like driving a car. You shouldn't do it when you're really emotional, if you're really sad, if you're really angry, if you're really frustrated. It's a bad idea to get behind the wheel, and I think that's also a bad time to have your cards read. So I would suggest to that person that they wait till they calm down. And so let's say they ask, okay, should I quit my job? That's a yes or no question, right? So you want to get down there? Here we go. So let's say we do a one-card reading, and don't doubt the power of a one-card reading. You can get a lot out of one card. So should this person quit their job or not? So if they ask a yes or no question, then what would this card be answering? Is it clear? Was that a clear yes or no? I mean, the figure looks upset, right? Murray. Good boy. The figure looks upset, right? So I would think, so maybe it is time to go because it's just so frustrating. But there's still these 2 cups behind. Maybe if they just turn around and looked at those cups, maybe the answer is yes, they should stay. Maybe they should appreciate the good things. But 3 are down and 2 are up. So maybe there are more bad things than good things. Murray. So, again, we don't have a clear, definitive answer. Now, if the question you asked was, what do I need to understand, or what's the lesson or purpose of this job or of the work that I'm doing right now, then that changes everything, right? So what's the lesson or purpose here? Well, I might say it's forgetting about the disappointments and focusing on the positives. And perhaps turning around, looking back, and remembering why you started this job in the first place, and what you enjoyed about it, and what made you happy about it. And what has changed now that Murray, he was just barking too much. So what's changed now that makes you want to quit? So if you think back to your first day on the job, you were happy, you were excited, you were looking forward to it. But obviously now that's forgotten, that's behind you, and all you can do is just focus on the things that you hate about it. So, and then this would be part of a conversation with the client that I'm reading for, to say, well, what did you love about it, and what do you hate about it now? And so we could have a conversation about that. And is there a lesson to be learned in it? Is there something still to be gained? Or is it just too emotionally draining? Now that's when the coaching part comes into the reading. So that's an example of why it's better to ask an open-ended question than a yes or no kind of question with tarot cards. Please let me know if you have any comments or questions. Have a great day, everybody. Love to all of you. Bye.